Beep beep! What is up, ninjas? My name is Samworld, and it's no surprise to many of you that Fisher is my favorite producer right now. So today we're gonna be discussing the Fisher Climax. Now the Fisher Climax, guys, is very simple and it comes in various different ways, but usually the climax will occur right when the drop happens on the track or on the second drop, the last drop before the song ends. And usually it's gonna be an explosion of sound. It could be melodic or it could just be a big ass song coming in going. It's like an explosion of serotonin going through your body, especially if you hear it live. It just gets you going. If you're working out, you just lift more weight. And you may be going like, Sam, you fucking high, bro. But I'm not high. It's Monday morning. But here are a couple of examples of the Fisher drop. And I'll try and put some live footage of him doing it live so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Chris also has his own very unique way of doing this, where he has this kind of squarish sound that automates, kind of pitching up, and it kind of has a cutoff. So for this tutorial, guys, we are going to be using the Dirty Chicken sound set that came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's been doing great. A lot of you guys have purchased it, guys, and I hope that it's bringing you guys hours and hours of joy of making tech house. And hopefully some of you guys are using it good to release some songs. I know a couple of you already sent me emails saying you got signed to Dirty Bird, and I can't wait to hear your tracks using that sound bank, guys. But without further ado, let's get to it, because I am remodeling my kitchen, so that's where you hear all those Foley shots. I'm not making a sound bank or a sample pack Foley kitchen renovation. It's just I'm renovating my kitchen. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, guys, so here we are inside of the search engine, and what we're going to be doing is pretty simple. We're going to go with G. Now, the first climax I'm going to teach you is the harder one, which is a melodic one, which Fisher likes to do a lot. You can hear it in his track, the first one he released, Just Kidding. You can hear it in his his duo called Cutsnake, called Get the Party Started or Party, where he has this very blues thing going on. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys to go through these scales is because you can have access to like the Pentatonic Blues scale, you can have access to Loax, all these scales that sound different from your standard scales, and they give really good vibes. Like if we go with the Pentatonic Blues, which is the G, the A sharp, and then we have the F, and then the D, C sharp, and then the C, we can create some cool vibes. Now, what we want to do essentially is we want to have something like this that builds up, and then this is the last drop. And right there is where we want the climax part. So the first one is that melodic one. So we already know what we need to do. So for instance, if I go G, or I start up here on the D, and then I do the Pentatonic Blues where I'm just going down the scale, and you don't need to go down the scale, but it's a lot easier to execute because this is what's going to give it that blues vibe. And let's say we do that, and then we just go down to that G and hold it out. This is how it's going to sound like. Check it out. I mean, it's so good. Now, you don't want to use it that high up, but I just want you guys to be able to hear the melody. And you know, here you can do a lot. Dun, 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 dun. Something like that. You know, creativeness, guys, creativeness. You know, get inspired by this. Don't just go like, oh, I'm just going to go down the scale like Sen. Nah, like go like, man, that sounded dope. Like, now I want to do this. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be the first one, the very melodic one. And again, experiment, guys. Go through these scales. Be like, oh, I'm going to try the Romanian minor or the Spanish gypsy. Sounds pretty dope. So you can see D, 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 D. Alright, so for that, we would just have to do this. And we're going to try it, okay? So that one goes here. Again, you don't have to go down the scale like this, but keep in mind that if you're doing the blues, the thing that gives it the blues vibe is the selection of notes here. As you go from D, C sharp, A, and A, that's what's going to give you that blues. Now, if we do the other one, which is the Romanian or the gypsy, it's going to be this. All right, so then there we could add maybe like one there. Have it glide. So that's going to be the more melodic one. Now, the other ones, guys, are going to be more simple, okay? The other ones is just one note going through at a very low octave, so that's just going to be very simple. But again, it creates that burst of energy. This is the one he uses it in Losing It. So that's going to be more like just like a one note. It's usually going to be a saw, and I am using, again, a preset from the Dirty Chicken sound set, guys. It's called the Train Horn, and that's going to sound like this. And again, you want to get rid of the lows because you're going to be playing really low, but you don't need those lows because we already have the bass doing that. So all you're going to hear is this.
And the cool thing about it is that then you can add those pitch bends, like you can have it do that, and then at the end as it's approaching that, you can just have it pitch up, and then just make sure you pitch it down somewhere over here. Pretty simple, as you guys can see. Nothing really that crazy, but again, simplicity is the best way to go, guys. You know, people sometimes talk about my tutorials being too basic, but it's like, what the fuck you want me to do, bro? What do I need to add more things or what? Like, so again, simplicity is key, guys. And a lot of times those climax sounds are played by saws, but experiment with squares. In the just kidding song, it's gonna be more of a square kind of pulse kind of sound going through it, a very basic sound, but again, it gets the job done. And that's the key thing. Okay, so the next one and the last one I'm going to show you is the Chris Lake one, which is a little bit harder to execute because you do have to automate a couple of things. But these, again, should open up the doors in your mind to just be like, oh, cool, like I can do a lot of things with this. Like I could have just this sound automated so that's and then do a lot of cool things with that. So the last one I'm going to show you is that. So here we have this sound. So it's going to be a very kind of chippy tune, like the baby mama's calling you. So, you know, you had a one-night stand and then she's calling you, and you know it's not a good thing if she's calling. So we're going to have this. We're going to keep everything up on it. All right. It's a bit too loud. We're going to lower that down. So with these kind, we want to have this kind of filter cutoff there. We don't want to open it. And we want to have something open it like a LFO 2 here routed to the cutoff A and B. So this is going to sound like this. And we're going to do it at a low rate. It's just gonna cut off aim. So we can start. So those are gonna be the ones we're gonna make. So let's go 164. Turn automations on here, and we're just gonna come down on it. And those are gonna give us. Okay, now again, you know, maybe we're going a bit too fast with that, so we can kind of slow it down. And then from there, you can add like automations, like maybe pitching up or pitching down or whatever you feel like, or pitching up and then back down. Okay, so again, it's going to have to do with this cutoff, and you're just going to automate that rate, okay? And that's what's going to give you that vibe. And again, you know, you can do so much with that pitch bends that you're using in the track, because now we can do cool stuff. So let's get rid of that over here. All right, so, you know, you can pitch it down or pitch it back up and down. So those are ways you can go about it. And you can do the opposite of that. And one of the cool things, and the last thing I'll leave you guys with, is the fact that when you're going out of those, you need something to let the person know that it's going to go away. So for Chris Lake's feel, Chris Lake likes to do these kind of claps where it's like ta 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 ta. So that's going to kind of work as a transitional tool. It's going to give us the cue that, hey, we're going to change into what we had before, or this sound's going to disappear. Something like that is kind of. And again, you know, white noise, here effects there and there to really help you transition that into the remainder of the track, which is, again, that same bass playing over and over again. While people, you know, might talk crap about it, you guys know, like, at the end of the day, if you're in a club dancing, repetitiveness is really what you want. But you want to add little shots here and there to keep it interesting, and stuff like this is what's going to give you guys that vibe. But like I said, guys, this is going to be the Fisher Climax, and I added a little bonus that you guys can do things like Chris Lake does with these kind of sounds. Again, he's automating the cutoff rate a lot. That's how you're going to go for that, and you can pitch it up, pitch it down, find ways to do it yourself with other sounds you might have, fun stuff. And that's, again, at the end of the day, is having fun, guys, having fun and doing these things. But that's going to be the end of the video, ninjas. If you guys enjoyed the sounds I used, the two sounds, they're from the Dirty Chicken sound set, which is a Dirty Bird. This ain't Bristol style of sound bank that you guys can check out. And if you like it and you want to support the channel, by all means, it's going to be located at Evil Sounds. It should be over here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. If you guys have suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, guys, and I'll give you guys a shout out if I like your suggestion and I make a video on it. You guys take care. Peace out.